Secret. I don't think that's any really big surprise. I'm curious to see what happens to Slardar in this matchup, mainly.
First band.
Very contested between these two teams. Do you think Secret would take Slardar if Mineski let it through, as well as their Dazzle and Huskar, for example?
I sort of think Team Secret expects them to go for this all-in strategy. I think they want the Slardar as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see an Undying ban right now.
Undying would be a good ban.
Yeah, they've been pretty upfront, Mineski, as well. Been pretty upfront about the fact that they're going to go heads on. They're going to go at the jugular, and it's the way that they've played, so Secret can't be expecting anything else, surely.
Well, the Shadow Priest ban is a good one. It's obviously eliminating the risk of Huskar being picked, and
Also increases the value of their Slardar first pick if they decide to let it through.
yeah.
Which they don't.
So what do we have now? I feel like
Shadow Fiend or Bane?
Undying.
It's a Bane Undying.
Undying.
So what Secret could do was do the Undying just as a pick ban. But I think it's more likely that they'll pick up the Shadow Fiend or even the Bane just to play to their own strengths.
What about Queen?
I personally think Queen is much more first pick worthy than Shadow Fiend, but most of the teams here disagrees.
5 seconds remaining.
How much has Mineski favored Shadow Fiend in their matches?
It's not picked too commonly because they generally get Queen.
Which one would you get against Ember? Like, Secret are actually giving a lot of information away with an Ember Spirit first pick. Okay, it's Queen. That was another guy we forgot.
Yeah, that's been a popular combo as well this week. And last week.
Just to save face for the Paladin. Safe.
You're doing a really poor job.
I think you may have thrown us under the bus and reversed over us.
This just speaks to how balanced the metagame is, that there's so many heroes that could very well be first pick material. We were talking about how Undying and AA or Bane Elemental could come into play, and then instead they go for the Ember Spirit, and they follow up with Queen of Pain and Darkseer. Shadow Fiend has still not been picked by either side. A lot of good heroes.
And Secret actually do something very unusual here. They pick their carry and their mid in the first two. That's like almost never happens. You generally see either two cores where one is the offlaner, or you just see a support and a core in the first.
I mean, these two offered a little bit of everything, though. Good split push, good somewhat anti-BKB with Blink Shackle being nearly instantaneous, good scaling to late game, and decent anti-push. So I don't really think you can go wrong with those two.
Okay. It's just so much information.
Yeah, I was going to say, why would a team do that? Is it overconfidence?
Because they've had a lot of success with it, and no one has really been able to successfully counterdraft it. Unless there's a Doom or a Slardar in the pool, which have already been banned out. So
have we seen we play anything else than Shadow Fiend and Wind Ranger yet this tournament?
Not to my knowledge.
He also plays Queen, but they already picked that on Mineski. So look at Secret's bans. They're really targeting the previous strategy for Mineski here. I think, did Mineski have these 4 picks, all 4 of them that were banned just now in the last game against Alliance?
Yeah, they did.
All 4. Wow.
With the, I think the Tusk was being played mid.
Oh yeah, that's right. They played a mid Tusk. They surprised Alliance with that.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so we've played Shadow Fiend, Wind Ranger, and Queen of Pain.
Okay. That's the AA ban. So nothing very surprising. Curious to see what.
The AA ban rings a little hollow now, as compared to a Bane. I think because they no longer really need to fear the AA too much, unless they, of course, want to pick up an Alchemist, for instance.
They could totally do that, actually.
I think it's just one of their better supports that they run with, and that's much better at team fighting. I think if they go for something like Bane, they can easily pick like a Disruptor or something like that, who's also good versus Ember and Wind Ranger, and have a superior team fight over Secret.
And Chilling Touch is very, very good on the 2 core Secret picked first. So I still think you can argue for an AA ban just based on Chilling Touch in this game. Obviously, great synergy with Focus Fire and with the Sleight of Fist.
Are we expecting Undying to be picked up anytime soon?
It's unusual to still be in the pool and not banned after.
I don't think so. When
second phase.
When Mr. Johnny Cash, aka Jesse Bass, has been playing when they picked Undying, it's been him playing it, and he tends to run the offlane where they have a Darkseer.
Yeah, good call. Malini called that one.
It's interesting that they banned AA and then took so long to find their pick. generally when we see teams in this phase, you ban and then you're pretty quickly sure what you want to pick, but they needed some time for this one.
Disruptor is, I think, one of the supports that it's pretty good versus Ember Spirit, but there's not one that's like perfect versus him, but he's one of the best, I would say.
Yeah.
Aside from that, what other ones are we looking at to deal with the Ember? Because Ember, played by Envy, has just been a consistent pain trying to deal with the split push.
You're saying support or hero?
Support.
Yeah, I think Disruptor, one of the best. Lion comes to mind. Silencer is actually pretty strong. But then you have a Silencer support, which I think the results for haven't been very good in general.
Disruptor's only 20% win rate, by the way.
20%? Out of how many games? 5 or 10?
Only like 5 games, so...
Nice.
So now another silence coming out for Ember Spirit. This is actually shaping up to be a difficult Ember Spirit game.
This hero is so good with Iron Shell, and it fits Mineski's idea of playing hyper-aggressively. Nightstalker Darkseer can start taking over a game at the first nighttime if they get a couple of kills running. So I like this pick a lot from them. The one downside though is that this support duo is not very good very early on. So pressuring Secret and lanes when they have a Bane is going to be difficult.
Reserve time.
So we expect the Queen of Pain to be played by Bimbo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they still have that carry left on Mineski.
Don't Secret need a hero up in front that can actually get vision of these heroes? It seems like as the team fights are going to happen right now, Nightstalker is almost always going to be able to get the jump because none of these heroes really want to be up in front and get vision for Team Secret.
I sort of like the Undying pick for Secret themselves just because it can go in and it's, you know, if they fight around the Tombstone, Queen of Pain, Darkseer Disruptor especially, can't really choose to fight elsewhere.
And Tombstone also gives good vision at nighttime even. Pretty useful. Of course, if you cast Darkness, it should still be limited to 475, is it? Can't remember.
675?
Is that high? Okay.
I think so.
Ben is giving me the look.
The look? You gave me the look too, to be fair.
Beastmaster.
Alright, this is actually a pretty good solution too. So there's some vision for you with the Hawk. Roar great against Nightstalker. The Boar is annoying too. But of course they have Surge to counteract the slow. I still think this was a very, very nice pick for Secret.
But it still pretty much means that they can't really fight Mineski in a team fight. Like, in the middle phase of the game, unless they have a huge lead right now, right? It's pretty much just try and avoid with Ember Spirit and the Beastmaster Hawk as well as you can and go for solo picks with, you know, the Shackle and or Grip.
You know, I often think so with some of the draft that Team Secret has pulled off, but they seem to just constantly do this kind of guerrilla tactic where they attack from several sides and still do a 5-on-5 essentially. They just play it differently than a lot of other teams. It's not your typical, all right, we're running 5 guys from one side and you guys are running 5 guys from the other.
Do you think they needed to ban Chen this game? Was that going to be a really big problem? Because I think the reason it worked so well in the last time we saw them pick it was that their opponent had some pretty greedy lanes where Chen could just run over them.
I mean, I think it works well in the sense that if you're Team Secret, you actually want to group up a lot, and that's the best way, I think, to tackle Nightstalker as opposed to out-farm and hope you can farm faster than he can kill you. And I think having that really nice ball of heroes with the aura, with, you know, Inner Beast and all the Chen auras and the heal, of course, I think that's actually a pretty good way to deal with it.
And in Poppy's arsenal of heroes, Chen is by far his strongest as well, so...
Yeah, what's left for Puppy, actually? We generally see him playing Dazzle, Chen, AA. All 3 of those are banned. What else did he play this tournament? Has he even...
I don't know, but
the
I'm
Bane
sure...
is generally Pilot Eye, right?
Poppy's played Bane.
He played Bane too? Okay.
So
I like this PL pick a lot, actually, even though they're doing it into Ember. I think they are very, very strong in the early mid portion of the game, which they're looking to dominate. If they can play the PL like CDEC, I favor their draft almost no matter what Secret pick. But can they?
5 seconds.
I think Witch Doctor could be a decent support.
That's true. That's another hero that they like. Yeah, I like Witch Doctor a lot here.
If you're Poppy and you're looking at Mineski's team and how they've picked and drafted, would you have banned out the a Magnus?
Support
Okay.
Beastmaster?
This is going to be interesting. Game 1 of Team Secret and Mineski is on the way. Let's join our commentary team for Game 1. Odie Pixel and Purge.
Indeed, thank you very much, Paul. It is myself, Odie Pixel and Purge, that will be taking you through the first series of the day here, the best of 3 between Team Secret and Mineski. Now, obviously, Mineski coming into this one as the underdogs. Purge, have they got the draft here to take a game against Secret?
It's looking pretty good. I kind of like the Phantom Lancer pick because it does counter a lot of what Secret's working with, but in the late game, Ember Spirit's good against that because of the cleave, and then they add that to Magnus, who's going to give him extra cleave. So even before he gets a Battle Fury, he's going to be able to deal with the PL very well. So I think that's why Secret adjusted their draft here and pushed the Beastmaster into a support position.
Okay, I mean, obviously the PL, it's not the best win rate at the moment on this patch, but recently we've seen a few games where it has been played very well. I believe Aggressive obviously picked it up, and the play style that he used was fantastic for the kind of game it was in, and it won them the game. If they're able to play the PL in that way, do you think they can get ahead of Secret and stay ahead of Secret?
It's definitely possible because they do have the better early game heroes. Like Beastmaster is weak pre-6. Wind Ranger isn't really good until the 7 to 10 mark, where Shackle shots last a lot longer. I mean, if Secret can do a great job on Bane, get a fast level 6 there, yeah, they could make a lot of kills around the map, but Secret should be able to outfarm them in a lot of ways. But I think Mineski does have the better early game. So yeah, they could get ahead. They could dominate in that way, but do they have the same ability to do that Secret would when they're ahead? I also think Secret has the definite possibility to play from behind, so we'll see how it turns out.
All right, seems good. Thanks, Purge. And let's get ourselves into the game. So game 1 between Mineski and Team Secret. A lot of people are going to be very interested to see how this one pans out. We have seen, of course, that Mineski, they can step it up. They got to the upper bracket here. We casted them against eHome, and these guys can be incredibly scary.
Yeah, they're very talented at all their positions. They have very good teamwork. Maybe they're a little over-aggressive sometimes, but I think they can definitely take it to Secret and get at least 1 game, possibly 2 out of this.
Oh, here we go. I mean, in terms of the lanes from both sides, obviously we saw the fact that Misery, with that final pick, he's going to be on that solo lane. Magnus, do you think we are going to see safe lane tri-lanes from both teams, or is anyone going to switch it up?
I don't think Mineski really wants an aggressive tri-lane. While they do have the better early game heroes, they're heroes that can profit a lot from roaming. If they dedicate them in the off lane, then it would leave their carry by himself more often than not, and I don't think that's really what they want to do. It's definitely a lot better if they just do a safe tri-lane, do Darkseer in the off lane. That'll be a good zoning against the Ember Spirit, and then later on they can use their slight level advantage and slight better early game to win.
All right, Raging Potato, he's just going to blink himself away from that one as Pilado was there. Jesse Vash just forcing back Misery away from that top rune, so going to be able to secure that one here. It's not going to be going to the mid laner by the looks of it, the side of Mineski, and in fact PL will be able to grab that one. Cuckoo taking the top, and Weehaw will claim himself the bottom, and it is of course that Weehaw Wind Ranger. We know this is one of those heroes that he's incredibly terrifying to go against, and it's going to be interesting to see how this Queen can do against him in the mid lane.
They're actually doing really interesting lanes. Okay, I think this is Mineski predicting what Secret was about to do, because Secret has moved the Ember Spirit to the off lane basically, and they put Queen of Pain down there. Now, if it was a Phantom Lancer in the safe lane, that's a hero that isn't necessarily going to trade amazing against Ember Spirit. But the courier getting killed here. That was with a 4. Are you kidding me?
That was with the okay, all right.
How do you even do that? That's amazing.
Yeah, Puppy's turning up today. And well, already bottom lane, Jesse Vash just trading hits with Envy, and Envy was going to get the Void Slow on him, and in fact he's in a bit of trouble here. Moving forward with a Thunderstrike, he's going to get fairly low. Pylai die, trying to do what he can to save Envy, but he's going to give his life up. First blood there to Mineski. They do save Envy, but nonetheless Mineski still getting the kill.
So that's going to put Quap really low. He's got to be slightly careful here. There's a small chance he could die, but he's got enough tangos where he should be able to heal up. Yeah, look at that, down to 50 HP. Pi can zone him so easily. He even has to defensively blink. He can't even stand in his lane here.
And with only 2 tangos left, as you said, the fact they don't have a courier still for a minute and a half, it's going to make it very hard for the Quap to come safely back into lane. So CS for Envy should start to look pretty good. He should be able to catch that up. Mid lane at the moment between the PL and the Wind Ranger, as expected, it is the edge here for Weehaw, 9 for 3 compared to the 5 for 1. But in terms of lanes, as you said, do you feel this is the best decision from the side of Mineski?
I'm not 100% on that just yet. We'll see how it turns out, because obviously they did just get a bit of an advantage, but they invested a lot in early items like boots and null talisman, so they don't have as much regen as a hero typically would. They might also contest the rune here. We'll see.
Oh, we've got a few heroes looking around this void onto Pilot Dale. Turn around with the brain step onto Jesse. And he's going to still continue to chase, and there's your Shadow Strike, getting the slow through the Thunder Strike as well. He blinks forward aggressively, trying to get the right clicks through. It's going to bring Pilot Dale fairly low. Not quite low enough to kill him here. Maybe, in fact, one more should do it. And Pilot Dale, he may tick down. Puppey now trying to look for a return bit of action. Bane's going to be fine. Does get the Tango out, living on just about 20 HP. And Puppey chasing down. He's hungry for action. He gets the ball slow through, but he's not going to chase any deeper. He, in fact, turns around. Potato gets the strike out, but Puppey, he's just manning up, forces Raging Potato to blink away. And Puppey at the moment causing a lot of issues for Mineski across the map.
Yeah, just a Stout Shield and your basic 4 armor, and Beastmaster is very happy to trade. He does 68 base damage on average as well. And it's not a huge range, so he can trade very well against these guys. He is getting a little bit behind in terms of levels, and they also re-sentry the pull camp as well. So the 2 supports here on Mineski aren't going to be able to get very much from that lane. Is this the worst though? I mean, they could maybe sacrifice Quap a little bit, but in the off lane, Darkseer is going to be doing really well, and in the mid lane, seems like PL's doing just fine. 15 CS matching Weehaw and the Wind Ranger. So I feel like they should maybe roam with their supports a little bit. It would be hard to kill a Wind Ranger though, so maybe it is better just to go back to the tri lane and keep fighting.
And bottom lane, they've got to be very, very careful, the side of Mineski, if they come out. And I mean, as you were saying in the mid, the PL, he's done a great job. He's 18 for 4 now against the 17 for 3.
Yeah, he's not the worst mid hero actually, because any harass you take, you're happy to spam Lance to zone your opponent a little bit. I think that's pretty good. If you ever want to go aggressive, you can use Phantom Rush. Oh, initiation on bottom.
There's your Nightmare setup. Envy's going to move forward. He gets the chains onto both of the heroes. They'll look for Jules first and they'll find it. That's going to be the first kill. Jesse Vash now coming in with a TP. Let's see if they can find anything off the back of it. Looking to trade hits with Pilot Dye, but Raging Potato takes a brain step to the face, and Secret will just get away with the kill. No return from Mineski.
It's a very weird trialing for Secret, but it's completely working out. I think a lot of that really was the lack of regen that we had on Queen of Pain. If she had a salve that one time they got the first blood, and she was able to pick it up.
Oh, the shackles there, and look at this. He's trying to go for the deny, but doesn't manage to deny the rune. It's still picked up, and now Weehaw could be in trouble. Cuckoo trying to chase this in. He's going to try and walk this off, Weehaw.
Should be fine.
Feeling a lot of aggression, and that's, of course, Weehaw with the empty bottle, and Cuckoo now with a top one. Envy is going to find himself a regen down here.
That'll be really good for him.
Looks like he might let it go to the Wind Ranger.
Yeah,
there.
but she just wants to... Jesse Vash?
Jesse! He chickened out.
I feel like he could have gone for that. Neither of them had mana. He may not have known that, but that would have been big. I really think they did need more regen though, because after you get a kill, if you're put down to low HP and the support respawns, in some ways it's good for the support. Yeah, you gave them gold, but you show back up to the lane, and this is the first time Queen of Pain has been full HP. If she was able to salve instead, they could have pressured Pi.
They're going to try and go again, but there we go. The Nightmare toggles up, but it still gets the chains down, and they've got the damage. They'll take down Raging Potato before he can blink away. And a second kill for Secret on this bottom lane.
It's a good try by Jules. He put the Nightmare on himself so that Queen of Pain could get away, but the Syrian Chains came just in time, and no blink there means that Queen of Pain gets punished. So in a lane where you thought maybe Eternal Envy was going to die a lot, he's actually getting an advantage here. He's got 21 CS, he's got a kill and assist to his name, and Secret's got to be really happy with this, especially because on the other side of the map, Misery has a lot of levels. He's up to 6 now, and that means that he's going to be able to get a lot more done in the early game from a ganking perspective, and he's going to have a lot of extra levels of Empower. So Envy's doing well. We have on the mid lane, Weehaw's trading at least evenly, and Misery's going to have way more levels than normal, which means it's going to further accelerate Envy. This is looking like a really good game for Secret right now.
But at the same time, considering how a lot of people would have had a perspective of Mineski going into this one, they're stepping up to a level that's showing to be even equal to Secret at the moment, because they're not getting crushed in these lanes by any means, and they are managing to keep up at a certain level.
Yep, but I think their mid-game outlook is not looking as good because of the farm that Secret is getting. So yeah, they have some interesting ideas, and things are working out okay for them right now, but it's definitely looking like a good Secret game for the mid-game.
Okay, Cuckoo's going to look for the rune here. We'll see if he tries to go for it. Both Puppey and Envy are there. He's just going to man up and fight, and he'll get the rune as well. Takes it. Now Jesse's coming in. Throws down the void. Cuckoo fairly low, but he'll be able to doppelganger up to the high ground. And he's going to be fine, and again, just gets away with taking the rune from right under Secret's noses.
I don't know if I'd say gets away with. He lost 400 HP here, which is...
He's got the bottle filled up.
So he ran to a rune, he lost all of his HP, which is now countered by the fact that he gets a bottle, but he could have had that HP without being there. So really all he did was chance dying and get a bounty rune, which is, you know, he could have stayed mid and got equal farm and had the same HP. I don't know if doing that was necessarily worth it. I mean, if they had a bottle, yes, and it was actually...
Oh, Misery. I will pretend we didn't see that one. That was...
misclick? Or?
Yeah, misclick.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Not great from that.
Envy did have a bottle though, so he was countered, and that's pretty big. So no bottle for Eternal Envy. I guess it was worth it after all. Level 4 in Queen of Pain now. She's got boots and a bottle in the base. And Disruptor's still sitting behind, just in case she gets in trouble. Puppy picking up level 3. Actually getting 2 levels of Wild Axe is a little interesting skill build here. A lot of players will be maxing out Wild Boar, even when playing a support Beastmaster, but Puppy's seen a bit different here.
We can see at the top, the side of Mineski were looking for something, still trying to use this nighttime, but there's that lane wall from the Dire, so Secret are well aware that Night Stalker's up there, looking to dive with the shell. They're going to actually send the Night Stalker now bottom, see if they've got any better luck against Envy and Puppy. Got 3 of them there. There we go. Envy's trying to lead in himself with the axes as well, bringing Raging Potato fairly low, but Jesse Vash is coming in. They get the Void down, and there's the Glizzard back as well. Do they have the damage? And they do. They'll take down Envy there, Mineski. And mid lane as well, Weeha just getting pressured back. And Mineski keeping it even on the board, and that's a big kill to get.
Yeah, and a really good gank too. That was cool. They put Iron Shell on the Night Stalker. He teleported to the bot lane, I think. Otherwise, there's no way an Iron Shell could get across the map.
No, it's right, because he was up top. They saw him come into lane from the ward, and then he just hid in the trees, TP'd from the trees behind the tower, so Secret still thought he was top looking for the kill.
Yeah, that's really smart. That's reading the map, basically thinking they probably had an observer ward in the area. And sometimes one of those ways where knowing that they have vision can really help, because you can trick your opponent like that. Haste Rune picked up on Queen of Pain. She could maybe pressure Puppy here, but very high chance he gets out. I'm still a little confused how the Boar killed the Courier. It must be, I know he does piercing damage, so maybe the Courier has unarmored or something, so he took bonus, because a regular Courier has 100 HP, you know? He would have had to hit it like a lot of times, so I never knew you could do that with the level 1 Boar. It's a pretty cool trick.
Mid lane, Pilot does come in to try and help. We are top lane, moving in on Ryo. He'll vacuum back Misery. He goes forward with the skewer, and there's your RP. This time it will connect, and they should be able to find the Darkseer there with Remnant Burst from Envy. But Secret are able to find a kill this time with the RP.
So yeah, 47 CS on Magnus here. He's level 8 now. He can basically gank passively because he's ahead of his opponents. He doesn't have to worry about dying like a typical offlane Magnus. I could definitely see Misery doing some great things this game.
I mean, in terms of you talked about in the mid game before, that's really going to be the go time here for Mineski, you feel?
It was supposed to be. I don't know if it'll happen now. Night Stalker's 4 in 9 minutes. Disruptor's sitting at level 4 as well. They never got control of their pull. Secret blocked it twice in a row with sentry wards. Normally they just put 1 sentry down, but that means you only have to wait till about 2.5 minutes or so to end up pulling again. Instead now, this is the first time I've seen them start a pull here, and it's 9 minutes in, and their supports are definitely under leveled, and they're both supports that kind of need levels. Like Night Stalker you can get away with maybe being under leveled, but as soon as Disruptor hits 6, you go around the map and you start getting kills, and they've delayed that massively, whereas the hero in the safe lane on the Radiant side, or the Dire side, sorry, was Misery on the Magnus, so he's already set up a kill. So they're definitely behind in their gank potential, and with Queen of Pain dying once in lane as well, you know, they're a little bit on the back foot.
And I'm just looking at the 2 cores that Mineski have got, this Queen of Pain and PL. You look at the side of Secret, they've got a lot of ways to catch these mobile heroes out.
Yeah, they do Blink Dagger on Wind Ranger, which will eventually come. They can do Blink Shackle, they can get a Blink Dagger rush on Puppy, get a roar off, things like that. There's a lot of good ways that they can catch. You're completely right with that. Actually, all 5 of their heroes can catch, essentially. It's going to be a little scary for Mineski when Secret get aggressive.
Bottom lane, Bane's coming through. There is a Sonic Wave available, and Raging Potato might go for the straight up kill attempt. There will be a nightmare though. That's going to hold him back, and Highlight Eye should be alright there. Still Raging Potato just trying to wait for that opportune moment to get the Sonic Wave through, but it's not going to happen for the time being.
I'll force Bane back, and he's got bottle charges anyways, so no big loss for him. Continue to pressure the tower a little bit. Well, this is more like the beginning of the pressuring of the tower. Gonna try to catch Darkseer up a little bit on the top lane. I'm sorry, not Darkseer, Night Stalker. Darkseer is actually level 9. He's having a great game up here.
Alright, working of course towards that mechanism. And as you said, Jesse Vash hanging up top, but probably won't see him look for anything more across the map until nighttime hits again. He's trying to build up his urn. Weeha just seeing what he can take away from Cuckoo, just clearing up the jungle camp. I mean, on this PL this game, would you expect to see pretty much straight up Diffusal Rush?
Yeah, I think Diffusal Rush is super good this game. It counteracts the Windrunner's ability to get away, basically, because as soon as she uses Windrun, you just slow her. So that movement speed advantage she would get would be a little bit lessened. It also can remove Ember Spirit's Flame Guard, which means that he's not going to be able to do damage to the illusions as fast.
Oh, bottom lane, there's your Sonic Wave. And Puppy, he might just tick out. He's going to look for the TP back, but I think he's gone. Just TP. In time, and now Misery with the RP. He's looking for the return kill. Potato will get the blink out. But indeed, that TP just getting him back in time to get that fountain regen. In a very close call for Puppy.
That's quick decision making, basically. He knew there's no way that I'm going to survive this unless I teleport, and he made the TP. Really nicely done by him. And that wastes the quap ult. They did lose an RP in the exchange, but again, Misery's still super far ahead compared to most offlane Magnuses, so he's going to be absolutely fine. He's getting kind of close to his Blink Dagger. But yeah, Phantom Lancer definitely will go for a Diffusal Blade. We're going to see Darkseer after he finishes a mech go for a Blink most likely. That way they can do Vacuum into Static Storm Kinetic Field. If they can get a couple of good ones off, then Secret is easily going to lose team fights. But I think they're going to have the presence of mind to not group up too much, especially because of the heroes they have. They're a mix of range and melee, so I think there's unlikely that we'll see a super big Static Storm this game, but probably maybe some 3-mans.
Looking in terms of items, it's probably going to be the Orchid Rush here for the Quap after the Treads. So it's going to be nice against some of these heroes. Of course, Envy does have his Boots of Travel now, so he's going to really be able to make as much as he can from multiple lanes and always have that opportunity to turn up to the fights when they do kick off. And we may very well see a fight kick off on the top lane because Mineski smoking up. The three of them at this point in time looking to fight. Envy's there in the lane, but Puppey is on the sidelines. He's yet to hit level 6. Oh, now he's got it. He's got the level 6, so he's got that Primal Roar. And yeah, Secret just don't want to risk a fight there.
I mean, they have this Hawk scouting out between the tier 1 and tier 2, and Mineski saw that, but the problem is that by it not seeing any single heroes, that they're absolutely afraid right now, and that's exactly what's happening. Plus, it's nighttime, so they know Night Stalker is likely to be aggressive right now. Interesting skill build out of him. He's even gone for a second
bottom lane.
level.
Jules is going to get caught up. They're not going to follow through, though. I wondered if they were, because we saw Misery moving down as well, but didn't have the RP for a few seconds.
This could be Pi dying for sure.
Let's have a look. Kuki chasing it down there with the slow from the Spirit Lance. There we go. There's the second one. And Pylai die. Yeah, tried to turn around for a brain stab. Is it going to happen? That's going to be another kill there for Mineski.
Probably
not finding anything there.
Probably wouldn't have mattered if he brain sapped or not, so I don't really criticize him for that. If he had a teleport scroll, he would have been absolutely fine, but just a small thing that happens when you're looking around for heroes. He didn't really accomplish much down there, though. I guess he did find the Disruptor, but another smoke comes out. They've got Static Storm this time, though, and Night Stalker is still waiting top. In the meantime, Envy's farming only safe places, sitting in the jungle, things like that. But Puppey's 6 now. He can actually cover him if he does get ganked, so I think that's why Envy went to the jungle for a bit there.
Let's see if they can do this. Envy coming out. It's going to rely on Jesse. Again, they jump the Static Storms there straight away, and here they go, controlling Envy, stuck in the storm. He's gone down. Sonic Wave, more like a Sonic slap to the face there for Jackie. He's down, and they might even look for more. Nighttime has been summoned. They'll get the glimpse on Misery. They could look for a second kill. He'll get the skewer back towards the tower. Puppey's there with the Roar to hold back. Nice look up there. Again, Digi Kinetic Field trapping them both. They look for TP. Misery tries for the RP, but he's going to go down. They'll get 2 kills, Mineski. Puppey will escape. But Mineski finding a very favorable fight on the top lane.
Yeah, that was a really good gank by Mineski there. Just sending Jules in the instant Static Storm. They didn't even mess around with like Night Stalker getting his silence off. They wanted the instant disable to prevent Envy from jumping out, and they got him. Huge kill. A bit of a waste from Queen of Pain. I don't think she needed to use her ult, but they wanted to be safe. They've spent a lot of time trying to kill Envy here, and that was 2 ganks basically. They wanted to guarantee that second one failed, so I don't falter too much.
Yeah, mech now complete here on the Darkseer. You look towards the PL. He's only a few hundred gold away from having that Diffusal as well for these fights.
That is absolutely going to be huge. It's actually a very dangerous thing to put Phantom Lancer mid. Not for the player the team that's doing it, but usually for the other opponents. Yeah, it's very consistent. It's hard to gank him because he has Doppelganger. He can really leverage the bottle he can harass your opponent. He can't AoE farm very well, and sometimes he gets a little zoned out. But against typical mid heroes like Queen of Pain, he can actually just Doppelgang to remove the dagger.
Oh, Puppey. They're going to chase him down. The slows there from the Shadow Strike. Here's Jesse coming around as well. He's going for the juke. Is he going to make it? No, they found him with a vacuum. And Puppey will try and turn, but nothing he can do to survive here. And Mineski starting to run circles around Secret. And that's your Diffusal done.
And he's getting a lot more levels than you normally get as a PL, so you can maybe justify getting more skill points and less stat points. So it'll be a little bit better for his illusions, chasing down heroes and things like that. So this Diffusal Blade's going to do a lot, really. You can remove silences, you can remove some negative debuffs. There's the Shockwave, though. That's still the scary part, is the Empower. He's up to 40% now.
Yeah, that with an Ember Spirit in these fights where Kuki's got a fair few illusions out, they're going to have to be scared of Mineski. Mineski for the time, they're not scared at all. They're looking for more. They're smoking up from the top. Secret is going for Roshan there with the DD on Weeha. It looks like they'll get away with it here. I don't know if Mineski can get there in time.
They realize now. They saw Envy come out. It's a cool idea. They got the DD on Weeha, but will they kill it in time?
Oh, maybe they won't. The PL is right around the corner here.
Close.
Envy's incredibly low. The Spirit Lance, Envy's going to look for the TP out. It has to remnant away because the fact the illusion was
so
about
low,
to kill
700
him.
HP.
Can they go in
Puppy's
for the
low.
Look at him, he's looking for an RP.
Oh,
They're drawing the Sonic Wave. What's it do?
Who's gonna get it?
The kinetic field. They did manage to get it. Weehaw did pick up the Aegis, but they've already lost 2, and they might lose Weehaw again in the full 5 mana.
Oh my
SDP
gosh.
down on Weehaw. It's 3 down in the pit, and Secret again just getting crushed by Mineski, who seemed to be making the right decisions every single time.
I think that was a Secret error more than it was Mineski. I mean, Mineski played amazing to smoke at that point, but they just assumed Secret was hanging around the mid tower. But as soon as they saw Envy down there, they knew they're trying to sneak a Roche, and they thought they could get away with it because of the DD on Weehaw, but it just was not enough damage. Roche got so low, but then they were out because so many heroes had to stop attacking. Ember Spirit had to stop attacking, you know? And Puppy as well. Puppy got down to low HP. They were just asking for it at that point. If Mineski would have been really passive there, yeah, they would have been absolutely fine. They would have got the Roche. They would have got a big advantage. But that going to Mineski here is very, very dangerous.
I'm just looking at Cuckoo as well. So now he's got the 1200 on top of the Diffusal. If he gets another big item out, he's not died yet at all this game, and he's been playing very, very safely. And they're going to look for Envy on this top lane here. If they can get the silence through from Jesse Vash, and straight away with the Remnant Well.
If they had like a Quelling Blade or something like that, they could have gotten that kill, but they were just slightly too far away based on the tree's positioning to get that kill. Might get caught here.
They'd love to find Cuckoo. The Shackle isn't going to quite latch the range. They're chasing this all the way down. 3 of them, 4 of them, in fact.
He's fine. They can fight this. Oh, wait. Pilot Eye? Is he going to get the grip? If he gets the grip, it's over.
He's out. And now the CP's incoming from the side of Mineski. It doesn't look like they're going to try and turn. But again, drawing a lot of tension and a lot of time from Secret to that top lane.
Yeah, not the most dangerous thing, because if he did get Searing Chains, another thing you can do with Diffusal Blade is remove that from yourself. So he's got a lot of counters to Ember Spirit other than the cleave damage that's going to come from him later. So I would probably grab a Manta here. If he doesn't want a Manta and he'd rather just get a lot of HP, something like a Scotty would be good too.
I've got Misery and Pilot Eye hanging around. Misery does, of course, have that RP back available. Jesse Vash hiding in the trees. And in fact,
just 2 enemies hanging out.
Not aware of each other's presence here at the moment. And they're just exchanging.
I mean, they look like they could be friends. They both look pretty evil.
No, they don't sense anything.
Oh, he's going to see him now. Oh, he's in perfect positioning. Jesse Vash, I can guarantee he's
here we go.
TP, come.
Pilot Eye straight
he doesn't silence?
in.
Why doesn't he silence?
There'll be a nightmare.
What? Okay. All right, the glimpse comes. It's going to be all right.
Yeah, they've still got it. They catch him here in the kinetic field. And Pilot Eye will go down.
That's exactly why you wait in the trees like that, because sometimes your opponents get into a position where it's as if you have a Blink Dagger. Like, yeah, maybe you waste a little bit of time, but then somebody passes you and it's the easiest gank ever. I don't know why he didn't silence. Maybe to save some mana here, because he doesn't want to go back to base, but they got the kill. Nice little pickup there. And now it's nighttime. Another reason that he was just waiting. He's like, it's daytime. I'm not going to do anything anyways. I might as well wait for the easiest gimp ever.
I mean, at the same time, Secret, some of them did smoke up around the bottom into the jungle. They were looking for Cuckoo, but he's just playing so elusively every time, just avoiding these rotations from Secret. Envy is starting to build on that Battle Fury, but we can already see Mineski getting ahead in terms of the net worth, and you never really want to be going up against a Phantom Lancer if he starts to get ahead of you.
They have the solution entirely, though.
They do have
already so good at it. Yeah. It's basically like he has a Battle Fury right now because of having Empower. And once he does get a Battle Fury, he's going to be doing 85% cleave. And that gives you full cleave on all those illusions. Like, if he ever uses Doppelganger, Cuckoo just kind of dies, is basically what happens. He's going to have to spawn illusions, send them at somebody, and walk away from them. And I think this is a great reason for him to level up Phantom Rush, which he's actually doing. He's got 2 points right now. And that's basically because Phantom Rush, it's an amazing skill, but most PLs don't justify leveling up because they just feel they need more HP, they need more agility for damage on their illusions. But because he has such a level advantage right now, I absolutely agree with this. He needs to spawn illusions and he needs to run away from them. Because every time that Envy uses Sleight of Fist, they're all going to take a stupid amount of damage, and him as well if he's in there. So spawn illusions, let them continuously chase down opponents on that 4-second Phantom Rush cooldown, and he can get away until those die, then resummon the illusions.
Oh, he was so close. He was on the right track there, Raya. He looked for the vacuum as he knew that Misery would blink back and TP, but it was just a little bit slow off the mark on it.
Oh, we all might catch someone. He's got a DD as well. Definitely has kill potential. Beastmaster is just going to go for the typical Necro build. Won't be seeing the fast blink or anything like that. The Necro would allow him to solo kill, so there's a lot of justification in that.
Of course, we're going to see Night Stalker start to work towards that Aghanim. It's not going to be the quickest of times, but As we just saw, Agnim's of course done on your Wind Ranger. It's going to also be the next item by the looks of it for Raging Potato as he picks up his point booster.
There's a lot of good items on Mineski right now. Blink Dagger on Darkseer. There's a Glimmer Cape that Jules just got on the Disruptor. Going to be able to protect a lot of their heroes. A lot of Secret's damage is magical. It'll protect against Focus Fire as well if they don't have detection. They are smoked up though.
I see them make a beeline forward. They've seen Jackie. They'd love to kill the Amber Spirit.
Oh, the Hawk took damage from Iron Shell. Will they notice?
Straight away, Envy was out of there. Remnanting away, so maybe that was what kind of gave the indication for him to jump.
They also could have seen the Bounty Rune got picked up by Phantom Lancer as well. Another thing, if they have their camera there and they're watching, they can notice that happening. It would have been that or an invisible hero. So nice plays from Secret there. They're playing defensively enough.
On top lane, we are going to be able to find the tower there with the DZ. Bottom lane, looks like Mineski might look just for a trade, starting to put the pressure onto the tier 1 bottom. And also Raging Potato going to join them as well here and make his way across. And the line is drawn straight towards the tier 2, so maybe they just continue the push here and try and force Secret to fight.
Yeah, that's basically what they need to do. Secret definitely got the advantage in the last 2 minutes. They got a tower by themselves that he was safe while they had other people farming. And they will initiate soon. He's got his Battle Fury ready.
And the aim power, as we can see on the but doing a fair bit.
See Vash in trouble.
And they've found Paladai. Paladai's going to get silenced. Shackle will latch onto Vash. Misery, there's the Vash through. They get the static on the kinetic field of a trap. Weehar, the Roars out onto the Queen of Pain. Misery caught in the midst of it all. They do get Fiends Grip onto Jesse.
There's the RP, good RP.
But Misery's now down. It's a 1-for-1 at the moment because they did lose Raging Potato on the quad. Heavy trying to do what he can with the Slight Fist.
Diffusal Blade. He's in trouble, no mana.
And he's out of luck as well. Ember's going to go down. It's a killing spree for Cuckoo on this Phantom Lancer. And they will succeed in the fight, and they may even be able to take the tier 2 again. Exactly the plan for Mineski. They've even got it cleared. Puppy's being caught out.
He's in trouble.
The Lance is there. He's stuck in the field. Killing spree for Jesse Vash. And once again, another pick off for Mineski.
They're playing so well right now. They have all the counters to deal with Secret, and Secret just did not fight that well. The initial Blink Skewer from Misery completely whiffed. Secret, they did grip the Night Stalker, and they dodged out of the kinetic field, but that was it. At that point, you're escaping from a team that has a Disruptor, and there's just no salvation against that. And as soon as they drain Envy's mana, he's dead. He's in a really dangerous part right now. He's got the damage items he needs to scale, but he isn't at the point where he's just naturally leveled up a bunch of times and has something close to a 1,000 mana pool. If he runs out of mana, he dies. He can't use his jump anymore, and it costs 150 mana. It's very expensive, so Diffusal Blade right now completely counters him.
The fact that there's Greaves now done on this Darkseer, these fights are going to get harder and harder for the side of Secret. They need something big. They need a multi-man RP. They need to be the ones finding the setup and initiating, because time and time and again, it's just Mineski smoking up, looking for the jumps. And even when Secret seem to be kind of ready for it, Mineski just play the engagements that little bit smarter.
Yeah, basically. In Secret's defense, if Mineski is using a lot of smokes now, that means they can't do it later. And in the late game, if Secret can drag this out until 40 to 50 minutes or so, then, like you said, if they just get a monster RP, he's going to Sleight of Fist once and everybody's going to die. It will happen at some point. So Mineski still has to be so vigilant that they don't get caught in that way. Because if they do, it's completely over, and everything they work for up until this point could just melt away.
And Envy's certainly keeping his game up. He may have died 3 times, but he's still top of the 1 times net worth top. They're going to go for the RP.
Great Glimmer. That's going to keep him alive, I think.
Do they not have detection?
He's got a glimpse back. Twilight die.
Static Someone connected onto 2 TPs will be coming through. They'll kill Jules. Can Mineski look for any kind of turn? It doesn't look like they will. So they do still get the kill. But it's a bit of a sloppy one from Secret.
Yeah, I think he made a slightly wrong choice there by going for... He could have glimpsed Bane. He had to glimpse Bane and silence the other heroes. Low chance he was going to live. It basically required Mineski to TP instantly. They TP'd in reaction to his good ulti, but that's too late. They have to be there for that. So, small miscommunication mistake. They should have maybe tried to cover him.
Okay, Envy just walking past Ryo there.
And Ryo walking past Envy. See you later.
At this point, it's all about what Misery can do with the team. Oh, Potato. He's found Paladai. He's going to go for the TP out here.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that looks cool. It's a waste of mana, but...
Can't pass.
It's beautiful, though. It's just...
Get it.
How does that even fly? I mean, it's not even Frisbee-like shape.
Oh, it missed.
Yeah.
Come on, step it up, Quap. And Puppy just continues to get the levels up. He's level 11 now on this Beastmaster.
That's really good. He's been farming consistently this whole time, basically. All the times that Secret is doing aggressive plays, it's basically Wind Ranger far in front, Magnus sitting behind, and Bane sitting behind. They have a very good ability of killing a single target, and they have very good ability of taking down like 3-man skirmishes. So in that entire meantime, Puppy farms. If we look at his net worth, he's sitting, what, He's not that amazingly high, but Beastmaster with just a little bit of farm is actually very strong. Once he gets a Necro 3, he can still solo kill people, especially heroes like Disruptor, maybe even Phantom Lancer. Queen of Pain definitely, although Queen of Pain actually has a ridiculous amount of mana, so there's a low chance of him burning through all of that, but him getting levels right now is really good for his team.
And we've got the Ags pretty much nearly being done for the side of Mineski, and it's just going to be illusion that they catch out here, nothing else. Night Stalker just less than 250 gold away from his Ags, and Queen just under 650 away from her, so they're almost certainly going to be up by the time the next fight comes around, and going to make it that bit harder for Secret. And they've also got the gem picked up by Darkseer here from Mineski.
Yeah, but there is a blink now in Wind Ranger, so their catch is getting to be really strong. Any hero that isn't the tankiest person on Mineski could very easily just die. Especially if there's two heroes, anybody dies. Wind Ranger +1, anyone on Mineski dies. This is where things get scary, because Secret basically only has to commit 2 heroes, and right now it's Bane and Wind Ranger. Whereas the other 3 heroes, they can farm, they can stack, they can go split push in other lanes. So it's scary for Mineski to passively farm. For them even to set up a gank against Wind Ranger, it could easily turn around and have them dying. So they've got to make really good decisions from here out.
There's a lot of money on this Ember Spirit MV, and he's going to invest straight up in the BKB. So I guess he does have the damage output from the Empower, just keeping himself alive as just getting a couple of slight fists out in these. That's what's going to be important for Secret, really keeping the Ember alive.
It's basically protection against Disruptor ulti is the main thing. And as well, the Orchid. He could buy a Manta style, but Manta doesn't cover him against Disruptor ult. And Manta doesn't help him that much against Diffusal Blade, because, yeah, you can mantle off the first Diffusal Blade, but he's just going to slow you again right after. So he basically has to get a BKB just to make sure that he's survivable against Disruptor ulti, because if he ever gets caught, dead. With BKB, he's got some solutions. So while it does slow his farm a bit, the HP is nice, and maybe a gank on him will come now, but he, again, still has that BKB.
I mean, Potato might be able to force out the BKB here, potentially, if he goes for the Orchid. Nice.
They don't even have stuns on their team, if you look at them. There's actually...
That's true.
Other than Vacuum. You got Vacuum.
It's all about the control with the
big
Disruptor.
stun.
The Darkseer into Disruptor really in these team fights, and obviously Jesse Vash with the Crippling Fear and the Void to lock someone down, but you're right, there's not a lot of interrupt.
There's not even like an immediate solution. Maybe they could get Bash around Phantom Lancer. It's not a terrible item now, because your hero does a large amount of damage, but I don't even know if that's a solution. Jesse Vash almost breaking smoke. They spot Eternal Envy, but it's only Envy. Those illusions just died. That was incredible. This BKB was such a great pickup by Envy. He completely read the situation. They don't have a solution for it. The only solution is ignore Envy.
Oh,
Can
get the shackle? No shackle. And he's going to be able to doppelganger right here, so Puppy's going to have trouble finding a Primal Roar onto someone.
Need to kill this Hawk. Alright, Hawk's dead. Vision is way better from Mineski now. There's the glimpse back.
Bringing Puppy back into the kinetic field. They interrupt the Roar there with the Void, but now the Shackle will catch on to Jesse Vash towards the top.
Here comes
They're
the
looking to try and bring him down. He's very tanky. They get the silence up to Weehaw. Sonic Wave as well, bringing him low. Envy's trying to move through, but the Guardian Greaves have been popped. He's stuck in the Static Storm, but there's your BKB coming out. Puppy's already going to go down. Envy will find the return onto Darkseer, but Weehaw falls as well. It's a 2 for 3, and Kuku's still trying to fight. BKB still on Envy, there with the Doppelganger trying to rearrange himself.
Oh, the damage, there it is.
Out. There's your cleave damage.
He might die solo.
Yes, Glimmer Cape just about the remnant.
Oh, it gets him.
Double kill for Envy. He finds it, and now the slide, the change onto Jules. He may have lost 3, but Envy's doing his best to carry his team. I can't quite get the last hit onto Jules. He will get glimpsed back.
TP out with
looks for the TP away. Ends up as a 3 for 3 purge.
That was a really big fight for Secret there. That 10-second BKB felt like it lasted for way longer than 10 seconds.
Oh, is he?
That was close. I don't know if he would have killed him, but he would have got him low for sure. He could kill him right now. He doesn't have BKB.
Oh.
He doesn't have the mana pool though.
Okay.
So
yeah,
Envy's going to be all right.
Not enough for the Sonic. Okay.
What a good fight though. He basically killed the Phantom Lancer. You saw it there. He used Doppelgang. Boom. Sleight of Fist comes. Goes down to 10% HP. Good attempt at the save there with the Glimmer Cape, but it just wasn't enough to keep him alive. And they lost the gem there, which means Night Stalker's really big vision advantage is going to be a little bit harder to control. Now, when he pops his ult, it still is going to reduce the advantage of Secret, or the vision advantage of Secret, but losing the gem is definitely a big loss. They're probably even still on cooldown here. No, they could buy another one, actually.
Okay, Paladai will be able to glimmercate that one off. Raging Potato came through, but couldn't quite get the slow up. And also worth noting as well, that a bit unfortunate de-warding attempt there. As Secret will be able to maintain their vision on the Radiant Jungle. And of course the Disruptor now, the fact that there's a BKB, he's going for the Aghanims, and he's got to really, hasn't he?
Yeah, what's your...
Of the Disruptor.
Yeah, exactly, because it's basically a counter, again, to the Black King bar, because it prevents you from activating items, so as long as he casts it before the BKB comes up, then no BKB will come unless he gets outside of that. And it also increases the duration. It's a really, really good Ags upgrade, frankly. But it's mainly about preventing the items. It's the BKB counter. He's also going to be limited a bit on mobility if he rushes Ags instead of getting something like a Blink, but luckily they have a Darkseer to compensate for that. He can make him run max movement speed with the Surge ability. So they have some options here. They just need to go do a little bit better in the next team fight. It wasn't an awful team fight from Mineski, but they would love to do better than they did.
We saw Mineski there maybe looking in towards the Roche pit, but they've got to be very careful doing that against this lineup with this Magnus, with his RP. Secret now will be able to get the D-Ward, get a bit more map control around the pit. Oh, MV.
He was just split pushing. He wasn't actually trying to attack 3 heroes. He's looking so scary though. I mean, he's got Empower, he's got Battle Fury, now he's getting a Crystallis. He could just get a little lucky on 8 illusions and people just start dying. It's so scary for Mineski. Envy's got to feel real good right now.
Yeah, he's certainly been playing this game really well as well. Just the net worth as well. We saw him get picked out earlier 3 times, but he's kept himself relevant and he's kept himself at the top. And there's a lot invested on this Ember Spirit for the side of Secret.
Yeah.
A lot of weight on Jackie's shoulders.
I don't think it's that heavy though to hold this up.
At this point, yeah.
All he's got to do is press BKB before he gets Static Storm. That's the only thing that he's got to be afraid of here. Queen of Pain's making a BKB. I kind of wish she would just get a Hex, honestly. Because killing the Ember Spirit is just so hard. Yeah, it protects her from Shackle Shot, but she can still be RP'd with BKB, she can still be Fiend's Grip, she can still be Roared. There's 3 good ways for them to deal with her. The one thing that she's really countered by, though, is Searing Chains. So you can justify BKB in that sense, but man, they need some lockdown, and they need to start killing Jackie.
No, I mean, Envy next with this big influx of gold. I guess he just finishes off the Daedalus here for the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, it's definitely the straightforward way to go. And then afterwards, it's not crazy to go another damage item. Probably MKB for sure will be the next item, since there is a bit of evasion on Phantom Lancer. He may be going for a Butterfly, but I think it's probably better to go tanky here. And I don't like Heart this game. I think he needs to continue to scale for damage, kind of. With the same thing said, if he ever gets a Doppelganger off and gets Sleight of Fist right after, he kind of also needs to be able to back off and heal. So it's a hard item choice here for Cuckoo.
And here we go. Secret, nicely timed with the smoke as well. Waited for the PL illusion to disappear, and then they go straight to work. Mineski themselves, they are making motions towards the pit smoked up, but it's not going to be quick enough. Secret have got more than enough damage. They'll take Roche. I don't think Mineski will necessarily want to try and fight this Secret. It looks like they're not going to give him the option to. They back up, hanging around by the Secret shop, maybe seeing if Mineski did continue with a smoke up there. But they're just going to head back to lane Mineski and not look to engage at this point.
Yeah, they're scouting with their Necro Archer, and they're just hoping to catch Ember Spirit if he ends up coming bottom, basically. That's the best thing they could do. Especially if he TPs to the lane, for example. They could... Well, I guess they can't even Static Storm still. They still don't have the Eggs on Disruptor. It's not like he's farming much. The only way he gets this is if they take a fight. The only way they win a fight is if he has an Ag. So they're in this like weird conundrum right now where they don't really have any of the solutions. They need to get solo picks, and I don't even think they want to take a full team fight. And I don't even know if killing Ember is the hero. Go for anybody else. But same thing goes. Wind Ranger has a BKB now. Their draft really limited them once the BKBs came out, and I think they just didn't get quite enough out of the early game.
I would say it certainly gets to the point where Secret's looking very scary, and we can see in the net worth how any kind of early lead has now been negated. It's pretty much neck on neck between the two sides. And XP starting to swing over in favor of Secret. It's all going to be really down to this next fight when it does kick off. Who's going to be able to set the precedent and start to get that momentum really going their way. But as you've been saying, Purge, it certainly feels like Secret have already started to do that.
Disruptor backing off. Was that you?
Me?
Yeah.
It sounded like me, didn't it?
It did. Misery going
was that
back.
You, Purge?
And yeah, it was me.
That was
you got me. I was just trying to put it on you.
Well, 36 minutes in, 16 for 8. We saw a lot of action at the start, but Secret has certainly managed to slow it down, which is wow. Looking at the numbers, favouring their lineup.
It's time to ramp it up.
Go time. We're looking for Potato. He gets the BKB out just in time. Ezra is a little bit slow there with an RP potential follow-up, so Potato will get himself out of this one. That's going to be the 10-second BKB now gone.
He was hoping for a rune to get full HP, but see, that's the issue with BKB. I guess if he had BKB there, he was perhaps dead, but they just really don't have the solutions. Maybe it was just a poor Orchid game, honestly, if you think about it. They already had a Night Stalker. Do you really need to protect or to have that counter against Ember Spirit when he's very likely to go either Manta or BKB? I definitely, you could definitely
he's
criticize
moving
him
in,
for
we are, but Jules, he has got the glimmer here. I've got the gem in range, so it's going to be fine.
Here it comes.
Okay, Glimpse
BKB?
getting the static storm out, so we will be Glimmer caped up, and as you said, does still have the BKB here. And try and jump forward there. It's going to bring him pretty low. In fact, he might go down and lose the Aegis here, and he will. But as you said, just saving the BKB for the next fight. If it does continue, Secret's still hanging around here, ready to go if Mineski want to bring it. But Mineski, looks like they're going to leave it. They've got a bit of pressure going on the top lane from the Darks here, and the rest of them are just going to hang in the base.
That's Jackie TPing back up. He could basically stop the split push and show back up again. I'm sure he has a remnant down. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think that's the main thing we can criticize Mineski for right now is the fast Orchid pickup. The problem is that Orchid builds up so much better in the early game for Queen of Pain, whereas if you go Hex, it's very expensive. You have to buy like a 2,000 gold item and another 2,000 gold item, but it would leave Mineski so much stronger right now. I'm not sure if they'd have the same position if she didn't have the Orchid, but I feel like she didn't get that much value out of the Orchid in the early game. It was useful in a couple team fights, but it may have been better to just go team fight with your team a lot, maybe go Hex, because they just have no solutions right now.
I'm going to try and look for Weehaw. Okay, they'll force the BKB out. Weehaw maybe looking to turn, did try for a shackle shot. He's simply just going to get himself out of there.
It was the 10 seconds, so Orchid paid off in that way. And eventually, when those go down to 5, so Orchid will be good again, but Envy just does so much damage now. Daedalus, Battle Fury, and
He's
Power.
got so much.
It's hitting for 300, and he's cleaving about 80% of that, so about 200. No, more than that. That's bad math.
They try and jump on him. They get the signs, but there's your BKB, and now just use the sleight of fist. Trying to
he's
turn
in
it.
trouble.
There's your RP from Misery. Beautiful leading in. They'll take down one. They'll get two. Double kill for Envy. And Secret stepping it up. Jules over the team of the chase. They're there in time from Envy. They're going to get themselves a third. Triple kill for the Ember Spirit. And Secret finally turning up in style there on the bottom lane.
Yeah, that was a huge RP from Misery there, canceling a TP and guaranteeing the Queen of Pain kill. She was probably dead anyways because she had like 3 seconds left on Blink and she'd already used her Black King bar. And she only has 9 armor, you know. Envy is happy to hit her in a melee combat, so she initiated. Bad choice from her. They weren't going to kill Ember Spirit. Yeah, they're trying to waste BKBs, but they just lost 3 heroes. Look at that.
Slight damage, yeah. The cleave is too much for Kuka. Paladin probably there. Can they find the right one? There's the Feast Grip. Nope,
wrong grip.
They get unlucky again. They don't get the right one twice, and now
he's doing it.
He's looking for Paladin. They might get him. They will. So he gets out. Secret try their luck twice.
Okay.
They're going to try their luck again. Oh, 3 times unlucky here for the boys. Now they'll try and move forward. Is he not got double game here for a second? The shackle shot, but the power shot's off the mark. Weehaw! Oh man.
It was a great dodge from Cuckoo there. As soon as he went out of night vision range, he went up. And that power shot
literally dodged everything there, that PR.
Yeah, that power shot definitely would have killed him. Great item build thus far. The Talisman completely paying off there. The Wind Ranger wasn't able to kill him. And he is going to be going for a heart. He's all about the HP at this point. The only way to survive the slate, basically.
I mean, the thing is, though, when you, as you were saying earlier, going for the heart, he can turn around, survive, maybe kill a support, but in terms of killing the tankier heroes, he's still going to need that damage item. Like the Butterfly Complete.
Yeah, especially if they have things like RP. There's no hiding when you're stunned in a clump with your illusions and he Sleight of Fists you once. The heart doesn't counteract the cleave that Jackie's putting out. It's not scaling in any way equivalently. Like, that's the overpowered thing about Empower. It gives you 50% cleave. That cleave is pure damage. It's adding on what he already does. And the illusions just get so clumped that it's one of the hardest counters in the game.
Looking for Envy on the bottom, but again, just quick with these movements back. Playing very safely. And of course, with that MKB now, the Talisman, less of an issue here on this PL when Envy tries to fight. Although it was too much anyway. I mean, just with the Sleight and the Cleave, already just seeing the PL melt when he's around his illusions.
They just have to have good team fights, and they have to initiate first. And they still don't have the solutions. Darkseer does have a Mystic Staff. Normally, we see a Shivas, but I think this has to be a Hex. It absolutely has to be. He's already got a Blink, so the initiation would be pretty good. They need hard disables right now. They need hard disables 10 minutes ago.
Secret. Maybe looking to go. There's a lot. Oh, Jesus. That cleave damage has sent Ryo packing. He's got to run away.
And that costs Jackie 50 mana, that's all.
It's pretty terrifying. DD and power, the amount of items he's got under his belt, it's going to do it. And Mineski are not going to want to come anywhere close to this
Ooh,
push
I like their
from Secret.
move. Going for the here on the top. Damage on Weehaw. Okay, he could actually die here.
We trying to turn with a focus fire, actually forcing Raging Potato back. So win range is going to be alright there.
I'm surprised they didn't follow up on that. All they have to do is keep them alive until the BKB ends, and then they could have killed them. Definitely dangerous, and they traded a BKB for a BKB, but I'd say Secret's BKBs are much more valuable, like we said, because it counters all their abilities. So maybe Mineski's game plan is get into little engagements, force them to pop BKB, get those down to 5 seconds. Even if it costs us 5 seconds BKB, they still have far better ultimate disables that go through that. So it's better to trade at this point those BKBs than it is for you to keep yours big. So at least they're making space in that avenue. Like Weehaw's BKB, 8 seconds now. Eternal Envy's, he's 8 seconds as well. So they're still pretty good, but after 2 more uses, they're going to be in bad territory.
A bit of an interesting choice of item pickup there from Puppy. He actually goes for the Veil here on the Beastmaster.
That's actually very weird. It synergizes with Power Shot, Fiend's Grip, Ember Spirit's magic damage, but Magnus, Shockwave, Skewer, very, very unusual item. I think it's a very good item, and I think there's a lot of synergistic approach, but this game, thanks Pimp. Pimp Uncle reminding me, when you use Veil on Phantom Lancer, it shows you which one is the real one.
Yeah.
It makes them glow extra purple, so that is definitely the reason why.
Okay, so you're using it because I mean we saw already how they had trouble kind of discerning the real one from the fake one. So the Veil's certainly going to help that out.
I wonder if you can diffuse the blade off the buff though. I feel like you might be able to. In which case, he's going to have to buy a new diffusal.
I was going to say, how many charges has he got left?
He's got 3,
down to 3.
So he can upgrade it to the next one. It'll give him a buff of 15 agility, and then 8 more charges. Diffusal Blade's very good right now. And there's the Hex for Queen of Pain. Okay, she sold the Orchid. Okay.
Okay, you're on board with that.
I was like, she does not have that kind of money. She wasn't scaling well, but I think this is worth it. Sell the Orchid, get the Hex. This is exactly what they need here. And I am sure that Darkseer is going to do the same thing. He's very close, less than 500 gold, and he'll also have a Hex.
Well, Secret at the moment around the Roche pit, and they're going to go for Roshan. Mineski, I've got a few heroes around, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get there nearly in enough time as Secret just power down on the Brute, and they'll be able to get themselves the Aegis and of course that G's as well. Now this next fight going to be even harder for Mineski to try and turn around. Paladin moving towards Vash, get himself forced forward there by Misery.
They might have the moment of surprise though, because he did sell his Orchid. He was nowhere near close to Hex. They could show it right now. They could kill Envy. If they get up here with like 2 or 3 heroes, okay, he leaves, never mind. They need to not show this Hex on Raging Potato though. It's extremely important because Secret feels like we have the easiest game ever. Like Disruptor still doesn't have Ags, they don't have any Hexes. Maybe Darkseer has one, but doesn't seem like he has one yet. If they show up, like show Darkseer on one side of the map, and then Queen +1 sets up a Hex gank on the other side, boom. Envy could die, especially because he doesn't have Aegis, he just has G's. They only have 3.5 seconds, that's the other issue. They gotta kill him in a very short amount of time.
Oh, he's got so much money again on him, this Ember Spirit. And just look at the net worth difference. He's 10k higher than the highest hero on the side of Mineski.
That's that supercharge. First of all, Envy already farms really fast. Definitely one of the best carries in the world. And then you put in power on him. It's just really, really mean. He gets farmed so fast with this.
And here we go. Secret very much ready to go on the aggressive. Still need to take down the tier 2 top, and we're going to see Envy boxing back there to get that creep wave going around. But it's getting to the point where it's going to be about the high ground defense from Mineski, and I mean, you look at Secret's lineup and they've got all the tools that they need to try and break that defense.
Alright, they have definitely shown the Hex by now. There's a certain point where Queen of Pain can't just not farm, so I think she has reached it, and they're going to know that these exist. Now there's 2, which is really good for them. But they do have some defensive items. Glimmer Cape on Pile I Die here. Puppy, nothing for him. So really just a Glimmer Cape is the only salvation they have other than using their skills. The Hexes could pay off, but it's going to be so scary. A lot of times when you use a Hex on somebody that's vulnerable and you say this is our only chance to kill them, you group up a little bit. And that's when the RP strikes, and then you've got 4 people in a group. So even with those attempts that they might have, they still have to be so careful. And it might, by them being careful, it might limit their damage a little bit, and that might mean that Ember Spirit doesn't die. And then they lose their opportunity anyway. So what is the best situation? The best situation is to kill him when he's by himself, obviously, but you don't always get that. So it becomes so hard here for Mineski to do this perfectly. There's so many factors they have to remember.
And not something that we see all the time, but something else that's going to make it even harder to kill Envy. Going for that butterfly here on the Ember Spirit that's now complete.
That is a rare Ember Spirit item, but I like it a lot, basically, because it's going to force Phantom Lancer to, rather than build stats, he's going to have to get an MKB. Not something he really wants to do. It's not terrible on Phantom Lancer, but it does nothing for his illusions. Just makes his hero stronger. It allows his illusions to hit through True Strike as well. So that's one thing it does. It basically counters the Butterfly's evasion, but makes Ember Spirit much harder to hit, gives him a lot of attack speed, makes him better in a 1v1 fight. Means that Queen of Pain's going to miss most of the time as well. It's going to definitely limit the amount of damage they can do in a short period of time. So even in these Hex ganks, it'll help a lot. Think I didn't hear that?
The Disruptor.
You think I didn't hear that one?
Hear what one? That wasn't me!
Alright,
it's the hero!
maybe it's Pimp or something.
Pimp.
Someone's messing with us.
Disruptor's closing in on his Aghanims. In fact, he's selling stuff to make sure he's going to have the gold. So 25 gold time, they will have that Aghanims upgraded Static Storm. But as you said, if she can get out the BKBs beforehand or don't get trapped in by the kinetic field, it's not going to mean that much. So Mineski are going to have to hope for the wombo combo of their life. It's just the fact that at the same time, Secret are going to be looking for their own. It's going to be a little easier for them. So there's your axe. Let's see if they can do it here on the defense.
They need a smoke or something because they need to approach us. And yeah, they're just one of the best ways to defend, especially if they have a Beastmaster Hawk. They're going to be able to see you most likely. And it's pretty clearly daytime. Daytime just started, so this is how Secret wants to do it. Here it comes.
They get it, but already the
got it down. Oh, it doesn't catch him.
God. He's dead for 57 seconds, ticking off the Static Storm hit, but the BKBs are out for Reggie
They're
Potato.
low. They have to do this.
There'll be a nightmare there. RP comes out. Weehar's incredibly low. He's got to run.
Oh, the grip Pie is so low.
Pie's going to survive. It's a double kill for the Bane here. And Secret lose nothing, and Envy's looking to maybe move forward for more. He drops down an aggressive Remnant. Is it going to go to it? Focusing here on the tower. Fortification now coming out from Mineski. There's 70 seconds on the clock. And there's Misery. Bringing Jesse Vash back in with a skewer. Weehar with a focus fire. Taking down the Night Stalker. And that's a third hero down on Mineski without buyback. And now the racks are exposed. They'll look for the vacuum capsule. They do get it, but Envy just turns with the sleight of fist. And now he actually Remnanting to dodge the lance. Thrown out by Cuckoo. Throws down another. Has to put the BKB because of the illusion bringing down his mana. Cuckoo incredibly low. Weehar, look at this man. He's going for it. He's going to get it nearly. Cuckoo will doppelganger back. They're still trying to find the kill. Can he get the last hit with the power shot? It's going to be on the point, but the regen is there. Weehar needs to be careful. Will lose the Aegis. But Secret do find the Rex there on the bottom lane. Maybe looking to try for more. Weehar's going to get hexed up straight away. They got the Spirit Lance down. Cuckoo hasn't got the damage, and he just hasn't. Weehar's going to be fine. Jackal gets thrown back. They're looking for a focus fire. Weehar's actually blinked in to look for the fight. There's his defusal play, but he gets 4-star back here. Weehar, Glimmer Capes up as well, is going to be okay.
Glimpse in 7, and they've got Static Storm up again.
But again, the blink's there.
They just need a little bit of mobility. Jules really needs to get searched here. Blink forward and search him.
Vision, who are they going to get? Can they get Envy here? Yes, they can. They cancel the TP. Can they kill him?
Oh, the big
ult down. Envy, is he going to fall? He might guess that he will. Down for 100 seconds. And now Weehar walking back. He's going to get hexed. Mineski looking for the turnaround. They're going to try and chase this here. There'll be the Force getting Weehar away. Also blink out from Misery. Can they chase this one down here? Pylai die right on the edge of the Vision. Can they get Weehar though?
He casted the animation, but it didn't go through because his Thunderstrike just ended. That definitely would have been a Wind Ranger kill. Instead, they can grab Pylai die. Not the worst. Do they have detection? They do. They put a sentry down.
Glimpsing him back here into the field. They'll take down the Bane. So they do lose the racks, but they do find kills off the back of it, and they do manage to get that high priority Ember Spirit.
That wasn't all bad. It looks really bad for them. I mean, Secret got slightly lucky. It looked like there was a crit on Jules when the Sleight of Fist came through as he was ulting, and he wasn't able to catch Ember Spirit. If he caught him in that Static Storm, it would have been absolutely huge for Mineski, and they had to go for it. They got everybody so low, and unfortunately, it didn't look good. But because of that slight overdive from Weehaw, they got him close to the fountain, and it was easy to keep him there.
I mean, Weehaw
glimpses and things
so
like that.
Aggressive.
Yeah, and they didn't want to kill him at first either because they're like, we're out of position. If we kill you now, you're going to blink aggressively with full HP, and then we just die. So they didn't feel comfortable killing him until they were all the way into the safety of their fountain, where he kept him in there. But it was a little too aggressive from Weehaw, and because of the Disruptor, they could punish that retreat, and they got a lot of important kills. So losing Arax for that kind of gold exchange, I think it's okay. If you look at the net worth now, you know, they're about 2,000 gold higher than they were 10 minutes ago. They might get their next items, and they have the items that they need to turn fights now.
I mean, yeah, exactly as you said. We saw it already with the Quap and the Darkseid. The fact that they've both got the Cypher Vices, just fighting back into the aggression from Secret when the BKBs are gone. You've got the chase down potential from the Night Stalker and the Disruptor. Secret have to be very careful how they disengage because Mineski, they're going to chase you out their base every time.
Yeah, it's almost nighttime as well. They're checking for obvious observer wards. We'll see if the Night Stalker finds one in his base. Oh, he doesn't get it. It won't be that big of a deal right now, but when it comes to high ground, it will be. So we'll see if that impacts things. They'll be looking for wards until it's night. Once it's night, then the aggression comes. They're going to try to get a kill with that.
Pilot Eye, glimmering up.
Potato might get caught.
Got the Fiend's Grip here. He can get it off. Get the chains out, but the BKB popped straight away by Quap. Doesn't want to risk being caught out by the Bane with his Fiend's Grip.
He is on 5 seconds now. More importantly, to get the follow-up. Yeah, he just wanted to remove the searing chain so he could escape immediately.
Oh, they get the Hex on Envy, but he gets forced out of the Sonic Wave, so he'll be fine. Static Storm's being dropped in the middle, but
Big
it doesn't
RP.
trap anyone.
The cleave damage.
The right clicks from Envy as well. They'll bring down the Disruptor. He's looking for more. Trying to get Cuckoo. Pots the Mana Stone. Can't get out. Focus fires there. It's a double kill for Envy. The cleave bringing Rylo as well. And at the same time, back by the wall, they'll also take down the Night Stalker there, Pilot Eye Misery. So again, finding 3 kills. Mineski, they do have buybacks and they're going to use it. They're going to get the PL back in the game straight away. But Night Stalker and Disruptor are down, and they don't have their Static Storm for the fight. Envy, balancing into the base.
And this ward's up too, so it's giving vision. That fight just did not go perfectly. They have to be the aggressors, but they didn't quite catch Secret right. And there's a Force Staff on Bane as well. The Quap ulti was wasted. They used it on creeps.
Oh,
Quick in
Ron to
trouble.
Cuckoo. If he goes down now, they're looking to set up a shackle.
Oh,
They
what a
will.
shackle.
It's going to
Stretch
get the
it
PL
out.
and the Quap. PL is going to go down as well. Killing spree for Weeheart and Envy. And that is GG. Secret may have suffered in the early game, but they took it to the later portions and they just played a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, that Ember, or I'm sorry, the PL pick definitely threw Secret a bit for a loop, but they said, screw it, we're going to play support Beastmaster. Puppy knows that he can handle it, and he played just fine. The important part was, again, their aggressive tri-lane went so well, and Misery was able to get so much farm in the safe lane, so it transitioned into having that overpowered empower stuff, and there's nothing they could do to slow it down.
I mean, we certainly can't say that Mineski didn't put up a fight. It ends
really
up
did.
19-19 on the scoreboard. It was just the later decisions that Secret made were that little bit better, and Mineski weren't able to quite bring it through. Maybe they stepped it out earlier. We saw the stat come up with the PL win rate. The fact is 50% ending between 30 and 40 minutes. It's down to 35% win rate when it goes later than 40 minutes, and that